Welcome to Epilogue Podcast, the show where we discuss some stuff that happened on a different show ages ago which nobody really cares about anymore.
Hello, I'm Portponky.
And I'm LeBloc.
Today we're discussing Deep Space Nine, Season 2, Episode 13, Armageddon Game. After destroying a biological weapon, Bashir and O'Brien are hunted by a bunch of fairly crazy alien guys, whilst their Deep Space Nine chums believe them to be dead.
It's a pretty good gimmick to see how the station would react to a death of one of the main crew members. Two of the main crew members.
Yeah, that stuff was actually really well done, I felt.
Yeah, it's not a case of, oh, we can't find them, they must be dead. They're given a formal report from someone they believe to be trustworthy that these people are dead, and they have video evidence that convince them. So all of that is good to see how, I don't know what I'm saying. all of that
adds up to a tidy dramatic package.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, it was quite moving. I especially liked when Sisko went to tell Keiko, and there was a really good scene where he walks in and she looks over to him, and when she sees his face, her face drops.
Yeah, and she would know immediately. She would be able to read it on his face, so that was good.
Yeah, it was great to put the viewer in that situation where you just read the faces. There was a lot of Bashir and O'Brien exposition.
I loved all of the conversations they had involving marriage and women.
Yeah, Bashir's been kind of lecherous a lot up to this point, and it was kind of cathartic in a way to hear how he's basically made a mess of his love life completely.
You can kind of explain his behavior with what he said in this episode. He's just trying to bury his feelings for Miss Ballerina.
Yeah, that and Dex mentioned his diaries where he was allegedly consumed with fear and doubt about his own failings. Maybe he's kind of not such a bravado guy after all.
Yeah, the writers have a better understanding of what to do with Bashir, and this is a great episode for Bashir in that respect.
There was a clever little plot device about the coffee that I didn't know what to think of that afterwards.
Oh, that it all hinged on this tiny aspect that ended up being false? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, because you know that someone's going to say, hey, this report is maybe not genuine because it's got to drive the plot on, so they come up with the coffee thing, and it seems kind of weak. But Keiko insists, you think I don't know my own husband? Of course, he would never drink coffee, and then at the end he does. So it was kind of funny, but I don't know what the point of all that was other than Keiko acts irrationally.
I got a good laugh out of it.
That
was enough for me.
I shouldn't blame Keiko for acting irrationally when she's just been told her husband is 100% dead.
Yeah, not even 20% dead. She thought he was 100% dead.
Although I must say Keiko was quite calm. Other than that one scene where she seemed sad, she went a bit unhinged afterwards, and she seemed too comfortable being unhinged. Oh no, I shouldn't diss Keiko. I can't say that people act silly when they've just been bereaved.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and I like that she wasn't reduced to hysterics, but not that showing wild emotion is weak or anything. It's just that's usually what a female character would do in a work of fiction.
Yeah, the damsel in distress trope sort of thing.
Yeah. So
No,
I'm glad they avoided that.
Oh, for sure. That would not have fit Keiko at all. She is very strong minded, be it for better or worse. O'Brien had a bad time, as he often does. It seems like O'Brien never catches a break whenever he's featured in an episode. It goes badly for him.
You mentioned that early on when we started recording these, that things tend to go south when O'Brien is involved, and it's kind of funny how true that is.
Oh, he is the punching bag of the cast.
Yeah, clearly. And it's really funny because he's vital and they would be lost without him.
Yeah, we were just talking about how if O'Brien dies, the station would fall apart, and I guess we saw that situation play out. And okay, so they didn't evacuate immediately.
So we were slightly off.
Yeah, but you could tell in Cisco's eyes, he was thinking, "What? We got maybe a fortnight."
That's why he was so sad. He knew they were all dead.
Yeah,
Effectively.
yeah, they wouldn't even make it back to Earth. The technology is so flaky. When O'Brien was put near a biological weapon, which was famous for its savage design, I just knew, oh, well, he's going to contract that. There was no real reason for him to be there. All he was doing was pressing a button and drinking coffee.
I guess Bashir needed a bodyguard? Yeah, why was he there?
Well, because if he wasn't there, he,
Who would push the buttons?
yeah.
That coffee won't drink itself. I'm glad it was coffee as well, not space coffee.
It's weird, though, because it was fictional coffee, or maybe it was edited from footage of him actually drinking coffee, but Keiko said the security footage had their spectral scan and confirmed it was coffee. That seems unnecessary. But then again, if you can add that to your security systems, why not, I guess?
Video, audio, and verification of liquids. That's the trifecta of security.
Yeah, well, it stopped all the rampant poisoning, which I would assume was around for them to require this sort of technology.
That makes sense.
Well, I say that, they did have a bunch of liquid biological weapons, so thinking about it now, it does actually make sense.
I liked when Bashir brought up O'Brien's love of military rations. That was from an earlier episode. It's a nice little nod, and I like those little nods of continuity, such as Odo's hair in the previous episode. And It's rewarding for dedicated viewers, and it's not distracting if you don't know what they're talking about. It could just be a throwaway comment that O'Brien's love of military rations is not universal, that he has brand loyalty.
Starfleet brand military rations. It's,
People are like that with food and beverages, though.
Well, yeah.
Can't just have any military rations.
It's like Coke and Pepsi. People have said that Pepsi's slogan should be, "Is Pepsi okay?" Because that's invariably what you get asked when you ask for Coke in a Pepsi establishment. And it's not, I'm a Coke man.
I'm also a Coke man.
I have some notes about things which I thought were a bit silly.
Go on.
And whilst this episode was a lot of fun, there were a few massive plot holes.
Okay.
So they're trying to destroy these biological weapons.
So naturally they surround themselves with them.
Well, they get them all in one place and then put them in a box and throw them into a star. problem solved. Or, if for some reason a star wouldn't work, throw them into a black hole. Or, if that wouldn't work, throw them into space. They'll never be found.
But that's irresponsible.
Well, there's no need to do that. You just throw them in a star. How would they... Anyway, okay, so presumably there's some incredibly contrived reason they can't just dump them into a massive nuclear inferno.
Space law.
Okay, so they have to destroy these things. Fair enough. Whatever. Then killing Bashir and O'Brien doesn't make sense anyway.
Well, Cisco said as much.
But it logistically doesn't make sense. They didn't want them to use the harvesters, but surely the Federation have more powerful biological weapons. The Federation has at least 200 planets, many of which are far more advanced than these planets, so you would think that the harvesters wouldn't be a big find for the Federation. They wouldn't care that much. All Bashir said there was that they were particularly hard to destroy. The actual effect seemed to be incredibly easy to mitigate with Federation technology. Like, it didn't seem to be an issue. They weren't really dangerous to the Federation. So they have no reason to kill Bashir and O'Brien, really. And in fact, if the Secret Service wanted to wipe out people involved in a project, they would do it more subtly.
I would hope so.
Wait a few months, a car crash here, bungee jumping accident there. Oh, that's funny. They all happen to have died within the next 6 months or a year or something. You know, not just run in with guns, wipe them all out, leave God knows how many witnesses. The assassins are witnesses that the ambassadors obviously knew about it. To loose ends.
Yeah, there's so many mouths you would have to keep track of in silence.
So then you've got to kill all those people.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things. The only really annoying thing I noted down was when they're about to get assassinated and the alien is raising her finger, and then O'Brien's like, wait. And she's like, whoa, wait, everyone, wait, let him speak. What?
They like to honor the people whom they execute.
Well, he should have just said, right, keep waiting. They wait a bit longer. He's like, yeah, keep waiting.
Just start speaking really slowly.
If they're going to honor his request, just, wait a day.
It was my last dying wish to live for one day with someone pointing a gun at me.
No, wait, I mean a week.
I mean, it was my dying wish to just be let go.
Yeah, that was... it was bad enough that they monologued about their plan, but then to give them their one last request was well into the sort of silly, tropey situation that I don't really think is necessary, but well, whatever.
It did give us the good O'Brien line, I want to die on my feet.
I want to die naked. It's like, well, can you kill me first?
That can be arranged.
I also want to die naked, and I want my executors to be naked. I don't know if they're going to adhere to any weird last request you make with such enthusiasm. It just seems massively easy to exploit more than they did.
We don't know where they would draw the line. Maybe naked execution would be the line, but we don't know.
Another odd thing I noticed is Quark gives a nice eulogy for his deceased customers, and with him is Kira and Dax. So you have a Bajoran, a Trill, and a Ferengi, and they're kind of doing a very human ritual, especially with the clinking glasses and everything.
Yeah.
I just thought it's odd that 3 aliens did a sort of very human tradition there.
Humans could have influenced them, and their time around humans may have influenced that.
Yeah, or it's probably quite a common thing to do, I guess. Common to all species who have glasses and like the sound of them tinking together.
Speaking of sounds, I really liked how the gun sounded in this.
The pew 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 guns at the firefight at the start.
Yeah, I thought they sounded really good.
I'm going to cut in some firefight noises right now.
Weapons aren't allowed up here.
Okay, now
See?
we react. Yeah. Oh,
that
wow.
sounds great.
Yeah. They had a nice meaty zap, if I remember. It felt like they had a lot of weight behind them, which is actually not how lasers work, but that is a very old observation to make. We had a rule of acquisition number 57. Good customers are as rare as latinum. Treasure them.
Pretty good, I guess. Latinum doesn't seem rare, though.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, if you replace latinum with money, good customers are as rare as money. Treasure them. But money is fairly common.
It would work better with something generic, as rare as a fine jewel. I don't know. That doesn't work well either.
Yeah, because they're common too. Even diamonds are quite common.
Good customers are rare. Treasure them.
Yeah, that actually works a lot better. But it's less clever sounding.
Yeah. And the Latinum reminds you that this is Star Trek, in case you forgot.
Well, they could say good space customers are rare.
Yeah, they could. Space treasure them.
So do you feel Bashir and O'Brien maybe bonded a little?
Yeah, I do. It was some nice bonding. And Bashir gave his famous advice, you should get some rest. Although he said you better sit down, but that's just a subset of you should get some rest.
Yeah, he's just dressing it up.
Yeah, he's trying to hide it.
So people don't call him out on having no good advice.
When Bashir talked about marriage not being fair, I thought he was about to launch into a screed about patriarchy and how men dominate women. And I thought, whoa, that's really heavy stuff to just casually talk about. And then it was not about that. But it was still good what he was talking about. But I had a very different idea what he was launching into.
Well, that's Bashir for you. He's an awkward guy, and you just don't know what awful thing he's going to say next. So instead
Right.
of getting a bit sexist or something, he decided to remind O'Brien that his child was going to be fatherless in a few days.
And it's all his fault.
Yes.
You shouldn't have gotten married and had kids.
I liked how Bashir brought up that there was marital strife in the O'Brien household between Miles and Mrs. O'Brien. And O'Brien looked like he was about to feed Bashir a fist sandwich.
Or two.
Yes, a whole 10-course meal.
Yeah. He wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other little bits. Well, not least Keiko claiming that she knows her husband so well that he doesn't drink coffee, but apparently she doesn't know him at all. And O'Brien's little speech about marriage is the best adventure because... And then he lists a bunch of things about arguments and stuff. It's odd that the only married couple on the show are... I don't know, they always say they're very happy, but I kind of wonder... I'm not sure how they were trying to play that. Like, it's a hearty joke. Ho, ho, ho. Isn't marriage full of agony? Or are they actually trying to portray, like, a difficult marriage through these weird clues and hints? I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I guess you could make arguments for either side. I thought it was kind of morbid that Cisco had everyone in there watching the video of their death. It could include faces melting off or something horrible.
O'Brien and Bashir on the floor screaming and melting for like 20 minutes.
I'm sorry I made you guys watch all 20 minutes of that.
Yes. I can understand if he watched it and Odo watched it. And I'm actually surprised that he didn't launch an investigation. He just took these guys' words for it.
Odo's presence made sense, but then just to invite everyone, hey everybody, I'm about to show this death video if you want to watch.
Email to all crew, hey, we're having a party this afternoon. Got a little video of our dear friends melting.
It's possible he watched it before he had them watch it, but I don't think that was the case.
Yeah, it seemed like he was just watching it for the first time. It really seems unnecessary for Dex and Kira to be there.
You guys gotta see this.
Oh, God. The video was unconvincing anyway. They're just a flash and they're all gone.
That's how radiation works.
Well, yeah, kind of. No.
Fair enough.
So, do you have a lovely quote for us to hear?
So the quote I have is just the first part of a quote. Once more unto the breach. And that's from Shakespeare, from Henry V. And I like the idea that Shakespeare continues to endure. I mean, he's already stuck around for 400 years. Why wouldn't he continue to do so?
It makes sense. I mean, it's actually odd the language hasn't changed that much. It's 400, an additional 400 years. You'd expect their language to be as different to ours as Shakespeare's is to ours. Another step. Anyway, I never read Henry V because I never read the first four. That's terrible.
I enjoyed it. Wait, didn't we make that joke in the beginning of this podcast? Deep Space Nine? I haven't seen the first 8.
I hope so.
Yeah, what a missed opportunity if we haven't.
Okay.
Yes.